Big shots. An important, influential person. Nicknamed Mr. Blockbuster, Jerry Bruckheimer is one of Hollywood's most successful producers ever, putting his distinctive stamp on everything he creates. The big shot behind Hollywood's blockbuster action films, Jerry has blown up more airplanes, crashed more cars, and saved more planets than any other man alive, and has grossed over $11 billion doing it. During the 1990s, Jerry was a co-producer with the late Don Simpson, with their joint ventures including Beverly Hills Cop and Top Gun, both among the 20 highest-grossing films of all time. While most of their work featured elaborate special effects, they were often a financial success while being critically panned. Jerry collaborated with director Michael Bay on the 2001 film Pearl Harbor. At the time, the most expensive film ever given the go-ahead by a studio, Pearl Harbor took over $198 million at the box office. RPG! His next war film, Black Hawk Down, fared much better with critics and achieved over $108 million at the box office. Next up was Kangaroo Jack, a kids' comedy that bombed, taking in just over $66 million. But despite this, perhaps the secret to his success is tapping into the family-friendly market.
You know, it's got the excitement and the adventure, except it doesn't have any of the bad language or the violence. It's just a lot of fun, and we got a talking kangaroo.
But what Jerry does best is action films, as he returned for Bad Boys 2, the high-impact action sequel that reunited Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. The film was a box office hit, taking over $138 million.
Well, I was at a family barbecue.
2004's King Arthur proved to be a rare misfire for the big shot producer. Brushed aside by critics, the film bombed at the box office, managing just over $51 million.
Is the true story that inspired the legend.
Jerry then put his stamp on National Treasure, a flashy film about an archaeologist who steals the Declaration of Independence. Though critics were less than enthusiastic, National Treasure managed to attract a significant crowd to the theatres, taking in over $175 million.
Surrounded by guards and video monitors and little kids on their 8th grade field trip.
Jerry's next project, Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl, was a rare combination of box office smash and critical acclaim. The swashbuckling adventure centred on the charming Captain Jack Sparrow, who teams up with a young man to rescue the governor's daughter from his arch-nemesis.
Every last piece we have found.
Pirates of the Caribbean surprised many critics for being an entertaining ride while taking in considerable cash at the box office, $305 million. The film's debut in Europe made a record $132 million in just its first 3 days, and the sequel, Dead Man's Chest, took over $420 million.
It feels fantastic. We even broke another record. We had the biggest European opening in 7 markets, beat Harry Potter, so that's really exciting.
And the Critics' Choice Award goes to Pirates of the Caribbean.
With all the accolades Jerry has received throughout his illustrious career, including Critics' Choice Awards, Golden Globes, and Academy Award nominations, this big shot transitions easily from the big screen to the world of television. The Hollywood mogul even made Time's list of the 100 most influential people in the world.
It's really an honor. It really is. It's fantastic. I mean, the list is amazing, and I don't know what I'm doing on it, but it's nice to be here.
Since 1997, he has branched out into television, creating a number of police dramas, of which CSI Crime Scene Investigation has been the most successful. With nearly 50 films under his belt and total career revenue of over $11.2 billion, Jerry Bruckheimer is one of the most successful producers in history. Nicole Kidman is not only one of the best actresses of her generation, she also has the respect in Hollywood that allows her to venture into independent films without it hurting her image or pull with casting directors. This big shot's career has soared since her divorce from Tom Cruise in 2001. Her movies became blockbusters and she started winning awards, and is now one of the highest paid actresses on the planet, with her pick of film roles. In 1989, she appeared in the thriller Dead Calm as the wife of a naval officer held captive on a yacht. It fared well at the box office before Nicole starred with husband Tom Cruise in Ron Howard's 1992 film Far and Away. The movie was not well received by audiences, but made a total of over $59 million. In 1995, Nicole was cast in Batman Forever, with the film taking over $184 million, making it the third highest grossing Batman movie as of 2005.
I'm flattered. Not every girl makes a superhero's night table.
In Baz Luhrmann's blockbuster Moulin Rouge, Nicole was cast as Satine, a singing and dancing courtesan who falls in love with a penniless writer. The film was an instant success, earning over $57 million.
But my dear, I've arranged a magnificent supper for us in the Gothic Tower.
The musical earned Nicole her first Academy Award nomination and a Golden Globe for Best Actress. The film also won the coveted Best Picture trophy.
And keep your feet on the ground.
2001 saw Nicole in the thriller The Others as a high-strung mother living in isolation during World War I. The film was well received and went on to make over $96 million at the box office. Birthday Girl, in which Nicole was cast as a Russian mail-order bride, was screened at film festivals in Venice, London and Toronto to great acclaim. She won critical praise for her portrayal of Virginia Woolf in The Hours, in which the prosthetics applied to her made her almost unrecognisable. The film took over $41 million at the box office, and her amazing performance resulted in an Academy Award for Best Actress.
I mean, people ask you about it and you hope for nominations because it does, it garners a lot of attention for the film and you want people to go and see the film, and it's something that we're both very proud of.
Nicole co-starred with Anthony Hopkins in the film adaptation of Philip Roth's novel The Human Stain, which was panned by both audiences and critics.
You were right. What happened to me is nothing.
She moved on to the more critically acclaimed Cold Mountain, a love story of two Southerners separated by the Civil War that also garnered her a Golden Globe nomination.
I despise the flogging rooster.
The film struck a chord with audiences all over the world and made over $95 million at the cinemas.
Let's put him in a pot.
Teaming up with Sean Penn in 2005, Nicole starred in The Interpreter as an African-born UN translator.
Here at the UN.
It took over $72 million at cinemas and was a favourite with critics.
Do you think you could identify the voice you heard if you heard it again?
But Nicole's talents are not confined strictly to acting. Her collaboration with Ewan McGregor on the song Come What May from the Moulin Rouge soundtrack debuted at 27 in the UK singles chart. Later, she teamed with Robbie Williams on the song Something Stupid. One of Hollywood's favourite leading ladies, this big shot has built her reputation on taking risky roles and accepting smaller fees just for the chance to continue challenging herself. But that doesn't mean she can't command $20 million of film when she wants to. Tom Hanks is box office gold. As a filmmaker, this big shot has had success acting, producing, writing and directing motion pictures that have moved audiences the world over. In his early days, Ron Howard cast Tom in the lead role in Splash, a romantic comedy about a mermaid who falls in love with a human. The film went on to become a box office hit, grossing more than $69 million. Tom made his mark in Hollywood in the film Philadelphia. He proved that he had the depth and talent to be one of the greats, and the film went on to make over $77 million US.
I excel at practicing.
He played Forrest Gump in the 1994 film that was a huge commercial success, earning over $329 million worldwide. It is his early films that Tom believes is the secret to his success.
Some of the best jobs I had, well, particularly early on, were jobs that no one else would take. So I was very lucky that everybody who turned down Splash had turned down Splash. I was very lucky that Big was a movie that they couldn't set up until everybody else had fallen by the wayside, and there I was. I was very fortunate that League of Their Own was a movie that came along, and they had to restructure it, and I was the only guy available that could go out and do it again. So,
the man voted the most trusted celebrity in Hollywood by Forbes magazine, Tom was cast in the acclaimed Apollo 13, playing astronaut James Lovell. The film was applauded by critics and made over $173 million US.
Here with the same problems. Trying to figure out how to stay alive.
He teamed up with Steven Spielberg in Saving Private Ryan, a movie that earned the praise and respect of the film community, critics, and the general public. Labelled one of the finest war films ever made, it grossed over $216 million US. Tom re-teamed with Meg Ryan in the 1998 romantic comedy You've Got Mail. The couple's chemistry just as alluring as it had been in Sleepless in Seattle. Audiences loved the reunion, with the film garnering over $115 million. He won a Golden Globe for Best Actor in 2000 and an Academy nomination for his portrayal of a shipwrecked FedEx analyst in Castaway, a film that made over $233 million. In 2002, Tom received the American Film Institute's 30th Life Achievement Award in front of an audience packed with Hollywood elite. Happy to honour Tom as an important part of Hollywood, the AFI recognised his talents and honoured him for work that has stood the test of time. He collaborated with Spielberg again in 2002, starring opposite Leonardo DiCaprio in the hit crime comedy Catch Me If You Can. Well liked by audiences, the film was a critical and commercial success, taking in over $164 million.
If you were a father, you'd know. Stop chasing me. I can't stop.
The Terminal saw Tom play a man trapped in the JFK International Airport when he is denied entry into the US, but cannot return to his own country due to a revolution. Considered a disappointment, the film grossed over $77 million.
No, Mr. Navorsky.
He continues to be offered the big roles, starring in the highly anticipated 2006 film The Da Vinci Code, based on the best-selling novel by Dan Brown. The film went on to gross over $217 million US.
Captain Fash, obviously I can't tell you why.
In Toy Story, the first feature-length completely computer-animated movie released by Disney, Tom lent his voice to cool cowboy doll Woody. The family favourite took over $191 million US at the box office and spawned a sequel. Tom's efforts as producer haven't gone unnoticed with his computer-animated film, The Ant Bully.
That looks vulnerable.
As of 2006, this big shot is the highest-grossing lead actor of all time, with a worldwide gross of nearly $6 billion US.
You're gonna have to play a small role in this thing.
Small role. Who am I supposed to be?
She's supposed to be, is, and always will be, Julia Roberts. It's her $1 million smile paired with talent and remarkable charm, which led this big shot to become the highest paid actress in Hollywood and one of the most recognisable faces in the world. Julia became the first woman in Hollywood history to join the coveted 20 Million Club, which she received for her role in Erin Brockovich. Pretty Woman was one of the top films at the box office in 1990 and catapulted Julia to fame and won her an Oscar nomination. The highest grossing film of the romantic comedy genre, Pretty Woman went on to gross over $178 million US.
Do yourselves a favor.
For her role in 2003's Mona Lisa Smile, Julia was reportedly paid an unprecedented $25 million. She plays a teacher who rebels against the strict social code of the 1950s.
It's your only assignment today. When you're done, you may leave.
Praised by critics, although not quite as impressive to audiences, Mona Lisa Smile took in over $63 million at the box office.
Graduate without actually ever stepping foot on campus.
Don't disregard our tradition.
In a disarmingly honest look at relationships, Julia starred opposite Jude Law in Closer, a story involving infidelity, intimacy, and sacrifice. The film was a success and a favourite with critics and audiences all over the world, garnering Academy Award nominations and Golden Globes, and went on to take over $33 million at the box office.
Do you have any children?
No.
Would you like some?
Yes, but not today.
She joined the star-studded cast of Ocean's 11 in 2001.
You're doing recon work on our anniversary?
Taz. And you are
She re-teamed with George Clooney, Brad Pitt and Matt Damon for the sequel Ocean's 12. And with high box office expectations, the film lived up to them, making over $125 million.
Who am I supposed to be?
Well. What are we stealing?
She made her first appearance in a music video in 2005 for the Dave Matthews Band. Filmed all over New York City, the video saw Julia playing the fantasy girl who appears in the dreams of Dave Matthews. Julia met her husband, cameraman Danny Moder, on the set of her movie The Mexican in 2000. They were married in 2002, and in 2004, they became the parents of twins. In 2006, Julia made her Broadway debut in 3 Days of Rain, opposite Brad Cooper and Paul Rudd. The play grossed nearly $1 million in ticket sales its first week out and continued to be a commercial success throughout its limited run, proving Julia's appeal extends beyond the big screen and tabloid covers. This big shot lent her voice to the spider Charlotte A. Kavatica in the feature film of Charlotte's Web.
Is anybody here?
Salutations, Wilbur.
I can't see you.
Up here in the corner.
Oh, spider!
Her voice was also heard in The Ant Bully, produced by fellow big shot Tom Hanks. As of 2006, Julia's films have grossed $2.9 billion at the American box office, making her the biggest female movie star in film history. The Ant Bully took over $27 million.
Become an ant.
Despite taking time out of the public eye to concentrate on her family, this big shot's love affair with the public and media has continued into the new decade, proving she still has the appeal to remain the reigning queen of Hollywood. Box office success is no mission impossible for this Hollywood big shot. From Days of Thunder to Interview with the Vampire to Top Gun to Rain Man to Risky Business, this long legacy of successful films is why Tom Cruise now makes $20 million per movie. He has been one of Hollywood's most successful and most bankable movie stars for over 20 years, and it's his thirst for success in all aspects of his films that explains why he remains such an important box office superstar.
I've always felt responsible that if I'm going to make a movie, I want everybody to win. You know, I want the actors to win, I want the studio to win, I want it. That's always my hope.
He began his career in 1983 when he joined a talented young cast in The Outsiders, a Francis Ford Coppola production. This role became a stepping stone for the rest of his career, especially in his role in Risky Business that same year.
Take care, kid. I want to try this again.
By the early 90s, Tom moved up the ranks to become one of the most respected and well-paid superstars of his generation. In 1996, he starred in, as well as produced, Mission Impossible, playing super spy Ethan Hunt. The film was a hit all over the world, grossing over $180 million US. He hit the screens in 2002 in Steven Spielberg's futuristic thriller Minority Report, playing a detective in a pre-crime police division. The movie attracted large audiences and went on to rule the worldwide box office, taking over $132 million US.
10 minutes. Got him in the foxhole. 4-4-2-1 games, bro.
The Last Samurai saw Tom do all his own stunts as an American soldier who is hired to train the Imperial Japanese Army in modern fighting methods. The film received an enthusiastic reception in Japan, with box office receipts higher in that country than anywhere else, taking over $111 million US.
What did he do to
In the crime thriller Collateral, Tom took a rare villainous turn against his good guy stereotype and played a hired assassin. Making the blockbuster films audiences want to see, Collateral proved big at the box office, taking over $101 million.
What do you care?
Despite his well-publicised off-screen antics, this big shot continues to be box office gold.
I never see that many strikes of lightning in one spot.
In 2005, he starred in Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. Becoming his most successful film in domestic figures, it took over $234 million US. He reprised his role as Special Agent Ethan Hunt in the Mission Impossible films, releasing Mission Impossible 3 in 2006. It was just as popular as the first two, taking over $133 million. Known for his work in the action genre, it's no secret Tom likes to do his own stunts, often worrying directors with his fearlessness. Tom has become one of the world's most consistently popular and successful leading men, giving powerful performances and winning audiences over with his light charm. Tom Cruise is one of the world's most popular movie stars, with his films grossing nearly $3 billion. He is also one of Hollywood's busiest actors, taking on blockbuster franchises as well as more diverse dramas. Getting to the top is tough. Staying there is even tougher. And this big shot has proved that is exactly where he belongs.
Nice putt.